Hello and welcome to Staying the Course. This is a conversation that is sponsored by Christ for the Nations Ministries. I'm your host, I'm Vitali Muvunyi. And today I'm going to co-host with a friend who's been a guest a number of times on this show. But today we'll be hosting together for the first time. So before I introduce the topic that we're going to be covering today, let me first allow her to greet you and to let you guys get to know her a little bit. Teta, how are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you, Vital. As he just introduced me, my name is Arteta Darlene Precious, and I'm very happy to be here as a co-host. It's a very good opportunity and a privilege as well, and I can't wait to see where this conversation goes.
Okay. So today we're going to be in the same series that we have started a few weeks ago, which is the Dignity of Femininity. And it's based in Genesis 1:27 that says that God created men and women, and he created them both in his image. But particularly today we'll be focusing on women in business. The last time we were here, we talked about women in general. We talked about, it was an International Women's Day, so we were really talking about the role of women, or what women bring to the table, and this table being the earth or the world. What's the role that women play in making this life on earth better than it should be, or better than what it is. Today we'll be talking particularly about how women contribute to business, and we are privileged to host one of the very young and very talented and young achiever. She's Miss Kevine Ikirezi. Welcome, Kevine.
Thank you so much. I'm privileged to be here. Should I introduce myself?
Sure, sure.
You've already thought about my name. I'm called Kevine Ikirezi Musoni. I'm a Christian. I go to Omega Church. Yeah, I'm a young entrepreneur. I do architecture, and I also do a passionate business of hair where I sell wigs and weaves. Yeah, that's quite all.
Wow. You're welcome.
Thank you.
It's a joy for us to have you. We've
Thank
been
you
looking
so
forward to
much.
this.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Me too. I'm very looking forward to what God decides for me to give to the world. Yeah.
So you told us you're doing business,
Yeah.
and the last time I checked, you were doing more than one business.
Yeah, I'm doing 2 businesses. The first one is my career, architecture. I do architecture. I have a company called INNOVARQ that's been operating for 2 to 3 years now. And I also have a business of hair and wigs, which is called the Glam House. And the third one with my best friends called the Call 4, where we do event planning. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. This is good.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
For someone that is as young as she is,
Yeah.
we're not going to tell the viewers her age,
Yeah.
but I can assure you she's very, very young.
Very young.
And she is still actually at university, right?
Yeah, I am.
And you're already having 3 businesses.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Mm.
Teta.
Yes, I'm just amazed.
I was almost going to say that I want to be like her when I grow up, and I just realized that
You're already there.
I've actually overgrown.
Yeah.
Yeah, so again, you just told us what you do,
Yeah.
but I don't think the way you said it very, very fast,
Yeah.
your clients might not have heard that they could actually come to you. So each of those businesses, if you would break it down and
Yeah.
tell us who you're serving.
So let's start on my career, the one I'm doing at school, architecture. What we do the design, we submit for you to get a construction permit, and you also do the consultancy and even building for you after, if you choose for us to build for you. But mainly what we do is architecture, like drawing for you, having a good design, and all the documents needed for you to submit. So we submit for you until you get your construction permit. And then the Glam House is a business that caters for women. There is wigs, but mainly headband wigs, because I'm a person who like comfort, who don't like long hours in the salon, trust me. I'm a girl, but I don't like a lot of hours in the salon, so I tried to find something that would make easier life of women, but still look beautiful, look good and confident. So the headband wigs are something that you can put on and just go, even on a bad hair day. So that's what I sell. And then the core four, it's me and my 3 best friends. We do event planning. If you have a wedding, if you have a corporate meeting you want us to plan, anything you want us to plan, we're there for you. Yeah, that's what we do.
It's awesome. Oh, you're almost taking everybody. Like,
Gutanga, like everywhere you have to go. Yeah.
If I'm not planning to build them, at least I'm planning to have an event.
Exactly, something,
Or you're
somewhere.
planning to buy
a wig,
someone.
Okay, or even for myself.
Well, I'll have to find some.
You're going to ask something.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, like, there are a lot of things that you do. Those are a lot of businesses, you know. Like, tell me how you manage to like make time for each, and you know how you maneuver through all those businesses.
As you can tell, it's not easy to manage all those things at the same time, even doing school at the same time. But all in all, I believe everything that God gave you, the capability and the vision in your mind to do, He'll give you the energy and ways to do it. So every business I started was God-driven. I've never started a business that I haven't prayed for and God gave me an approval. So mainly what I would say that helped me more is because most of them are online. They're online based, so there is no 3 offices, different places. So my offices are on Instagram and other social medias. It's easy for me to control it and easy to do them at the same time because of the platform we're given that's free and easy for everyone to use. Yeah.
That's really amazing.
Yeah, you were saying that one of your businesses was put in place to make women's life easier, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And today's topic, which is women in business, is part of a series that we have started that talks about the dignity of femininity. We believe that both femininity and masculinity are dignified in the eyes of God. God chose to create human beings in both genders. And it's one of these questions that has been very puzzling for a lot of people. Especially in today's world. You are doing your businesses online and you must be consuming a lot of content. Lots of your age mates and my age mates, even though we are a little bit older than you guys, consume a lot of content, especially from the West, but from all over the world. And what the West does, the rest of the world seems to copy them. So there's this thing that has been puzzling, which was never puzzling, which if you ask my father, he would think you're crazy, but which is puzzling for lots of your age mates. And that's a question that is now famous, that asks, what is a woman? So, what is a woman to you? When
I hear a woman, I hear boldness. I hear like multitasking. That's quite what we do. I'm not a parent, but I have very, very little siblings, and I had a glimpse of what it is to be a woman with kids, with a life to live, with going to school and everything. And when it comes to talking about a woman, it's just boldness to me. It gives boldness because the things we do, no offense to men, but compared to what we do and what you do, what we go through and what you go through, our life is a little bit harder than yours when it goes to life circumstances and how life treats us and how society receives what we do. So whenever I see a woman, I see boldness. Boldness should be celebrated in woman. That's a word that can easily describe a woman. Boldness, resilience. Yeah.
Wow.
That is amazing.
Yeah, but still, there's a lot of men that have boldness. There's a lot of men that are resilient. How do you think femininity or womanhood is unique from masculinity?
You can be bold because, you know, society opens up for you. which is not the case for us. Maybe it's getting better and better, and we thank the government of Rwanda for putting and raising women to go harder and go better. But everything we go through, the way the culture presides or wants us to be is to be quiet, lay low, like talk slowly, don't be bold, don't do that. But men, it's accepted, it's known that you can do that. But if you see a girl or a lady being bold, then celebrate her, because that's not the norm for them. That's where the difference is. You, it's expected. Us, it's not. It comes with force. It comes with you talking to yourself and deciding that I'm gonna be bold. I'm gonna do way more than what the society expects from me. But you, the society already expects that from you. So that's the difference.
Okay. Do you think that difference which you've highlighted, and I think it's more of societal than biblical, do you think there's some biblical differences in what these two genders are supposed to serve as a purpose, or some other distinct values, or I don't know, both tangible and intangible things that actually make each of these gender unique?
So I've been trying to see in the Old Testament where we can see bold women, like in the open, not because they were appointed to be like being a queen or something, just in the crowd and deciding to be bold. And you see little to none. The only one I saw is the other ladies that went to claim for the land that they lost, when they were the only ladies left. There wasn't any man they had in their family. So even the time that was there in the Bible, you see that wasn't the case. Even if when they were counting people who had issues or people who were to be protected or to be attacked the most, they were men. We were taken as children and wives. There weren't any, I don't know how I can call it, significance of a woman. But I love the way they received those ladies that were all siblings coming to fight for their land. It showed me that God actually knows that you can be bold, and He'll actually receive it right, because they got what they wanted. So biblically, I think it went on as progressing. And one thing I learned from being a Christian is that God actually knows the time that you're in. And if in the time of the Bible, that wasn't the case, now it's the case. We are given value, and God knows the capacity He gave you for you to even let it go or even not use it the way you're given it. So in the Bible, femininity is not a thing. To my knowledge, it's not a thing. But I believe that God He is everywhere, omnipresent, in every situation, in every time. He's there. And if it's the time we're in and He allowed it to be, then there is a reason, and He knows exactly why now femininity is a thing. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Interesting. Something you mentioned, Tata seems to agree. I think what you were about to add there.
No, just finish that.
Okay.
Just finish your question.
So, by the way, I kind of disagree on that point, but I'm not going to express my disagreement right here on camera. I want to give you more time to listen to your thoughts and your opinions and your ideas. Maybe some other time when we are not on camera, maybe some reason to why they would count like that. Because every census has a purpose. The time they come and count only, I don't know, youth. They don't count women, they don't count men. There are times that they will come and count only those who have, who own houses. The time that people, so there's always a purpose behind the census. And as far as the Old Testament is concerned, and actually all of the census at that time, they were about counting. In fact, they didn't count a man who is not at the age of fighting. Like whoever was not of the age of fighting, they would consider them as children, even if you might be 18 or 20 or something, because they would compare the strength of an army or the strength of a nation on how many men, they actually didn't even count them as men, they count them as heads. You've ever heard that they have 5,000 heads?
Yeah.
Because they're looking at that time with the very limited technology, they were fighting with physical strength. Anyways, but let's not go into that, because I also agree that there has been great advancement in making sure that both genders are given platforms, because I think the mistake that people made was, even when I think especially during the Enlightenment in Europe and the birth of technology, when women could contribute more because they had now access to devices, another thing that allowed them now to contribute more than they used to contribute. They weren't given a platform, and that was a huge mistake and a great loss to a lot of people, a lot of societies. So it's now right that they are given, because again, in agrarian societies where the main responsibilities are tied to cultivation and rearing of animals, the prominent places or positions will be taken by men, because they have the advantage of strength. But if you want to stay like that in this other world where you guys in fact, I believe that women are more, in my opinion, I think they are more intelligent than we are.
You're a he for she.
Because we learn. No, I have. That's one that I would be taken.
I like that.
Now let's go for business. You wanted to add something
Let
first.
me add something. So I talk for women. I'm all about women. I'm all about femininity, but I also value men's power and things they can do, we cannot do. There is a way it's more exaggerated at some point, where you find out that we overdo the right we're given. Like you see, when you were poor and you get money and now you're all over everyone's head telling them that you have money, it's how we're acting with the femininity and the word we've been given. So everything, too much of anything is bad. So I agree that we've been given the platform, we've been given the openness to work, to do what you can do, but I also believe that there is still a level of things I can do, you cannot do, and you can do, I can't do. And I respect it that way. So my femininity and me talking for women and everything has a limit.
That's interesting.
Literally has a limit. So don't hear me in the wrong way. I am for women, but I also stand for what the Bible says and the reality of things.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Teta, you're agreeing?
Yeah, I'm very I'm agreeing very
I'm
much.
Curious about
because it's true, and we were actually discussing it the last talk show we had, because I agree that yes, we are for women and the opportunities are there and everything, but we should also acknowledge the men's ability to do things that we can't do, which is very significant, because without them, then some things will definitely go wrong, and again, without us, there are some things that will definitely go wrong.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
Yeah,
it's interesting. We've been learning about. We covered something to do with the psychology, and we were talking about gender and stuff. And they're like, one of the things that a child learns first before many other things is the difference between genders. And whichever philosopher, I don't remember their name, mentioned something about how children will observe, for example, that cows give them milk. And they also remember that they used to be breastfeeded. The breast milk, is that called that? And and as soon as they realize that, they start now to realize that this only happens to females and not to males. So like you guys were saying, there's a clear difference. I think we learned so much from women. I think life would be a different whole thing without women. I was saying that I believe that they are more intelligent than we are, because everything that we learn in our first two stages of life, the infancy and childhood, 99.9%
That's
of
cool.
what we are able to learn, the way we are able to speak. In fact, the language is called a mother tongue, not a father tongue, because you're taught by your own mother.
Now that we think about it, I hadn't thought about it.
Same.
Now that we think about it.
That is crazy, actually. Yeah.
There is a Russian philosopher. He was called, I think, Vygotsky. He said the primary tool in which children develop their cognitive abilities is through language. So it's like we think in language, we speak in language, we communicate in language, we learn in a language. So like the language is the main thing that we use to develop our cognitive abilities. And imagine that thing you're primarily taught by your own mother to learn all these kinds of things. So my ideas and Teta's ideas are now complete. Let's come back to you and to your experience in business. As you were saying, business is one of those fields that you require a lot of boldness, a lot of courage, a lot of resilience, as you were saying. And as much as you say that you believe that women have that, you also mentioned about how many times they don't know that they have that. They have to like train themselves to remind themselves that they can be able to do all these things. And many times a lot of people around women will not allow them to feel that, to have the platform. So I wanted to know your story. How do you, should I say accumulate? I don't think the right word is accumulate, but how do you gain all that courage and boldness to start your first business? How do you start the second? How do you start the third one? I mean, how do you combine it with studying, as he was saying? Where do you get that confidence, that boldness?
Yeah, okay. It's a long story. I'm not going to tell it all, but I'm going to make it short as I can. So I'm a person, it all goes with someone's personality to begin with. It goes with your personality. So I'm a person who really likes to be independent, who don't like to stress people asking for money, asking for things that are primarily needed by a person, but I literally don't like to stress people about money. And I think it's your own responsibility to take care of yourself. Yes, their parents, they're there for you, but they're also, it's their first time being parents. They didn't have another trial before. They're all dealing with it for the first time. So why not make it easy with them? Do your own thing, take care of yourself, and then let them also live their lives. That was how it started. So even asking for the bare minimum, small things, transport money, it was a whole dialogue I had to make in my mind of how I'm going to go in front and ask, because it's not something that comes naturally to me to ask for things, which has its advantages and disadvantages, but business was one of the advantages. So I got to a point I was like, I need to find something to start, to do, so that I can provide for myself and give myself the liberty to do whatever I want with my money without reporting to anyone, telling them I bought this because of this and that. Like, I do it and I'm happy with it. That's how it quite started. And people used to tell me they loved my bags, the bags I wear, they loved my style. So I was like, why not start a business from that? And so I started it that way. I started the business and it grew, became bigger and bigger. I got a very big market, but then the income wasn't what I was wanting. So I saw that it's possible to get the transport money and small money to take care of yourself, but still I was like, why not? I can even do more. Why am I sticking to this if it's not giving me quick income as I want? So my sister was in the Philippines at the time. She sent me a headband wig. As I told you, I really don't like salons. So I was really looking very weird at the time. I had natural hair, so it requires more time to take care of it, and I literally don't have that time because doing architecture is not jokes. So she saw me on Instagram. I posted a story and she was like, girl, you need to find something to put on that head. So she sent the headband. I was so happy with it. And it wasn't that costly from where she got it. And everyone was giving me compliments, and I was even buying them for others. People were saying, bring it for me. And it was becoming a lot. I was like, hey, I'm not gonna be doing this for free. This is time. I'm spending time on this. Why not make it a business? since it's gonna generate income compared to the prices of wigs in Rwanda and where I'm retrieving it from. So I started the business. It required a lot of boldness, because if you're a lady, you know how expensive wigs can be. So purchasing them, bringing them to sell them, it required a lot of money to do that. So I took a bold step, prayed about it. First of all, I prayed about it. God gave me a go-ahead. He told me He's with me. Let me tell you, everything you do, if God is with you, if you have God's word, you have somewhere to go back and ask, why is it not going the way it should go when He gave me a go-ahead? Is there something you're teaching me I'm not getting, or it's just a season? Because you know for a fact, God gave you a go-ahead. So I started it for the first month, no client, and I was spinning. Wait
a second. You went 30 days without
30 days,
client.
And I was posting every day. Teta knows.
And yet God had told you that you
yeah, God has told me to go. And I was confident about my business. I was confident I was something needed in the society. So, because some of the products I sell them alone in Rwanda. I haven't seen anyone else sell them. Some of them, not all of them. So, I was like, God, tugiye guseba, where are you? Where are you? Wake up, wake up. Time for jokes are done, like, wake up. But then I was like, God, I'm gonna do my part. I'm gonna do all the advertisements I have to do. I'll do what I think I should be doing. Then the rest is to you, because there's nothing else you can do but trust God. So I did that, but God is amazing. When they came, I was gonna say mufininizo, like a lot. There were many, and I was selling out, telling my sister to send more, and she was like, I didn't know that it was gonna go that way. I was like, okay, let's go with what you're thinking, but I was like, will it succeed? So God, whenever God sends you somewhere or God tells you to do something, trust and believe He'll be with you. So it started that way. It went very, very beautifully, very well. So the architecture part is quite my career. That's what I do. So I started working at a place. I didn't start working by myself, for myself. I started working in a company where I was quite the youngest. I'm always the youngest. I don't know how it happens, but I'm always the youngest. But they really challenged me and challenged the way I see the career, the way I see my life, the way I see boldness as a person. Because people you hang around also matters in how you grow and what you do. So I hang around them a lot. People you go to work every day in the morning, so you hang around with those people a lot. I think at the time we were like 2 ladies in the whole office, the whole time I was working there. But there were people that were really focused and aimed higher than they can reach. And they taught me not to lower, or I don't know how to call it.
Think small.
To think small. They taught me how to be bold, like think out of the box, think things that you can't even see, like go beyond, far and beyond of what you think you can do. So I started working there. I learned 1 or 2 things by seeing how the real world works. So I was like, how are you gonna do all the 3 businesses at the same time when you have a 9-to-5 job? It really wasn't working for me. So I prayed about it. I told God, I adore architecture. I want to do it. I want to like put my feet there, like do well in it. And I still want to get some money, because businesses, trust and believe, they give you very good money. So praying about it, the time, I don't know how it aligns, but what they're teaching at church, it always aligns with my situation. I don't know how God does it. And when I sit, I think, so you think you're the one who was only blessed. All the congregation is relating to the someone in different ways. God is so amazing. So at the time, God was teaching me to be bold. Go and be bold. there's this word that says awuzakandagiza ikirenge nzaguhera umugisha and all that. So it's like God gave you a word, and the senior pastor used to say and continues to say that we don't understand. Pastor Lydios used to say that you don't understand efficacity y'ijambo ry'Imana, like the power that the effectiveness of the word of God. Like you don't give it the power that it holds. If God told you something, then there's no it applies to anyone or someone, it applies to you. If he says awuzakandagiza ikirenge nzaguhera umugisha, then azaguhera umugisha. So I went with that word. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to RDB. I'm going to open my architectural firm and start the business. I opened it. It was there. I was so afraid to tell people that I have it because I'm too young for people to believe. So I opened it and it was just there. I got my first clients. What do you do? I do architecture. Did the first project, and the rest was history. Like till now, I'm still in business. I'm still doing what I love and what God ordained and gave me the power to do. So wherever I did, who I am and what I represent now, I represent the life of Christ and what God can do when you go with what He tells you to do. So at my very, very young age, I own an architectural firm working and recognized in Rwanda. I have my 2 other businesses with, I forgot to talk about the one with my best friends. So we like going to different places, upcountry places, go for staycations, weekends and all that. So like we're not going to be spending all the time without any income coming for supporting our expensive life. Yeah, for supporting our expensive life and everything we want to do. So like we're all people who have different potentials, but mostly we're mainly perfectionists. So perfectionists work very well in event planning because we go in details and every detail. So we found a common ground. We found that we all like planning things, unique things. So that's how we started the business. We started last year in Jan, and we're still together. We're still working together and enjoying it. Yeah, so those are the 3 businesses. Yeah.
This is very inspiring. I'm gonna be like you when I grow up. I remember you were talking about how the first months of opening the business of the glam house, and I remembered how she would actually post every day. Every day. I was reposting because I did my job. I did my part. And when you said, when you were talking also about the architecture firm, I remember she brought a card, like a business card to us. I was with God, my brother. So she was like, yeah, this is my architecture firm and this is my business card. I was like, this is a lie. This is a lie, because I mean, you know her from since we're in childhood. Like, we thought she was lying, sincerely speaking, until I went on Instagram and I actually found the account. I was like, she's actually serious. She's actually making it in life. And even the event planning, they had a very amazing event, and there was this beautiful theme. Was it Persian chic?
A day in Paris.
A day in Paris.
Yeah.
So it was basically dressing up like Persian style. So, oh my God, that was amazing.
You went to the event?
Unfortunately, we didn't, but it's a funny story for another day. We can discuss that after the off the camera. Anyways, you kept on talking about how your friends, you have this core 4, and I kept on remembering how those who knew her dad actually know how hardworking he was. He was very serious with work and very committed when it comes to something he put his mind to, not only at church but also in his career and businesses. So it got me thinking, like, how did that affect how you see and see working? how do I put this? So if people around you have this certain common ground, like they love working, they're very passionate about something, so there's something that will influence you with. And I'm thinking there has to be an influence about be it your parents, your friends, of course your circle has amazing, they're very amazing. So I want us to take us through how that influences your whole day to day.
I had the same question, and mine would go like this. When we asked you about how you built the confidence that allowed you to start these businesses, for those who know you, because you are quite a star, they would think that you got your confidence from participating in Miss Rwanda. They exposed you, and if you can stand on the national stage, then everything is going to be simple. That's what one would have expected you to say. Or probably say that you are a daughter of an important man that we've all known, who's very, very hardworking, very, very what should I call it? He had great faith. Like he would start ventures that you ask yourself,
how is this going to work?
That's him.
And somehow you chose to just put it on God and say, I prayed for this and I go ahead and I do it. But there's definitely some contribution from all those areas. And would love to know let me ask it in a very selfish way. What's the role of fathers and men in building confidence of women, our wives, our girls, our daughters, our sisters? What's the Lord? Because probably someone watching us today who is the other gender might be able to learn, how do I empower women around me?
So I always dodge talking about my father, because my late father, by the way, so because it's still a sensitive topic for me, but I'm getting there. So my father was a very big part, still is living in who I am and who I'm becoming. So I was a daddy's girl, like literally a daddy's girl. If anyone knows me, he knows my dad. So my dad was someone who learned his kids. He would know your potential, your weaknesses, and let you be, like what we literally learned this Sunday. So he was a person who knew to know how to take you as a person who is a social creature, who likes people, who is an extroverted person, and knows how to take even other siblings according to who you are, and make you confident and make you feel like you're not an issue, that you're a social creature. Then that's how you were created, that's who you are, and he knew how to go with you. So I have a lot of friends, I have different friend groups. I have, compared to my siblings, I'm the one who is quite outgoing. So you would find, tomorrow I'm going, there's always gahunda. But he got to a point where I was like, you're like me, I can see you, you're like me, you're a social creature. So he found a ground that would work for me, that's different from what's working for my siblings. And that showed me how much I am heard, how much I'm respected by him and understood by him, which made me open up to him, open up to who I am, like not shy away to tell him everything that's happening in my life. So he was a person who was there to listen with no judgment. He was quite strict as a parent, but he could switch and become a friend to you and not judge you at all. So that's how I grew up, with a parent who understands, who pushes you to be better and better, but also allows you to be weak in some spaces and not ground you or do something to show you that it's actually kabaye byacitse, because I wasn't that wise or that smart in class, but he could show me that there's other things you can do apart from school, without telling me to not study, still study, but not make it a big deal that I'm not getting good marks or good grades. It's not the end of the world. As my older siblings, both of them are doctors, so you can tell. It was a very competitive household. So the big thing he did was listen more than anything. Listen, give you the time to grow, tell you in a very kind and loving way to change things that may be not going well, and also keep on, I don't know how to plant a seed in me that always told me, you can do this, you can do this. Ah, sharp, you can do this. That's how he used to tell me. I know you can do this, you can do that. Like, there wasn't anything like, hey, so I'm sure, or even when I told him I was going to Miss Rwanda, he was afraid a little bit, as any parent, but in him was like, I know you're gonna do it, and everything. And trust and believe, the confidence I went there with is because of my dad. Him being proud, telling everyone my girl is going to Miss Rwanda and everything. It gave me like an assignment, but still, I was motivated and knew for a fact that a man that I respect so much actually sees something in me that I should also see in myself. So most of the things that he did was listen and nurture confidence in me by showing how much he respects and see something in me. That's quite what he did to me.
Wow. Yeah. I hope I didn't change your question. I hope you get
It answers actually.
But I would have a follow-up on there. It's looking at how your father's confidence in you, your father's guidance and cheering on and all that made you who you are today. If you were to look into that camera and speak to fathers today, what would be your message to them in how they should be treating their daughters, particular daughters? They should be treating all their children right. But since today we're talking about dignity of femininity, what would be your advice?
So my advice to parents, mainly fathers, because by the way, I have a mother, a very beautiful mother, a very good, loving mother. But for now, you asked me about my dad because I was quite very close to him. So what I would tell fathers mainly, because mothers usually do it, it's expected, but the lack of a male gaze in growing up of a kid, there is a lot of things that is lost in the translations when you're not there. So be there for your girl, for your boy, because when you spend time with them, you get to know your children. You know how to orient them, you know who they are, you know how they go, you know what they would choose rather than choosing the other. You know your child. When you know someone, you know how to guide them. That's where we are gonna remove all the childhood traumas that people have, because you wanna treat me as the other sibling and we're actually not the same. Take time to know your kids. Take time to know the precious gift that God gave you as a person. Know who they are and work tirelessly to know them and to be friends with them. Because you will notice a lady who grew up with a father who told them how beautiful they are. And you'll notice a lady who grew up with a very not present dad. You can easily tell. The confidence is different. Because if you grew up with a man, the father figure that you saw is the first male gaze that you have in your life. The way you approach male or even all that relationship stuff is different from someone who had a very unpresent dad. Because you have been evaluated, you have been given a lot of confidence, value from your father. That value for men doesn't really make you go up there as someone who grew up without a present dad. So if you really want a very good future for your girl, be there for them. Give them the validation they need so that they don't go seeking it anywhere else, because you have given it to them as they were young. So the woman you want them to grow into, it's you to shape the woman that you want them to grow in. Give them the validation, because if you don't give it to them, trust and believe, they're going to find it somewhere else where they shouldn't find it.
Man, I know Teta has a question for you, but before she asks it, let me first say this, man. They say respect those to whom it is due. When I hear about what late Musoni Charles did to his children, And when she says that he was a present dad, considering he was running businesses, having a professional job, being a soldier, which is a career that a lot of people use to say that, I mean, it's understandable when a father that is a soldier is not present. But this man having been able to do all this, I think should be a lesson to us as men, both those who are already fathers and those who are yet to be fathers, that there is no excuse not to be present in your family. And I think today's world has made it even more easier. If you're not home physically, at least be there, they say virtually, but make sure you're present in your child's life. So I wanted just to say that respect those to whom it is due. Late Musoni was such a great and an important and a very model father. Yeah. Your question?
Let me add one thing for you to hear how present my dad was. So I did boarding for my whole high school. And let me tell you, the visiting day that he didn't come, I think there were 2 for the whole 6 years. In the whole only 2. In the whole 6 years, he was sick the first 3 years, but trust and believe he came when he was sick, but still came. He never missed a visiting day. So he didn't come for 2 times, and I think it was a work thing at the time, but only 2 times in 6 years. That shows you a small glimpse of how much he was a present dad. And
when people hear that he was sick, they think it was flu or something.
No, he had hepatitis at the time. He was on a 3rd treatment, I think. Very, very bad. Like, I would see him and cry, but still he would be there. Regardless of how he would feel, he would still come. And trust us, he wasn't very close to home. We were in Butare and we live in Kigali. He would take the journey to come, even if he was sick. So he was a very present dad. Yeah.
Respect to him, Kabisa.
Very, very kudos.
Big chapeau.
Coup de chapeau.
She only knows chapeau.
I was like, chapeau, you guys should complete the first. So obviously, as we were talking, you kept on quoting Bible verses, and obviously we're Christians. So, and I wanted to connect that with the business, with the business life and the life at the market. You know, there is a lot that happens there. You can, you know, if I was supposed to probably pay a tax of 1,000, I will pay probably like 2,000 just to, you know, evade and keep some to myself. So I want you to talk more about your faith and connecting with the business.
Especially since a lot of people say you cannot do business and be a Christian.
Yeah, it's very crazy because there's a lot of way you can
be tempted.
Not even be tempted. You can cut corners that would be accepted by society, but trust and believe your heart will tell you the truth if you're doing right or wrong to God. So I'll talk about pricing most of the times because there's a way we do it and you don't put your prices out there. So I price you according to how I see you, according to who you are. Like maybe I give a lower price to someone, I give a higher price to someone else, which to me is not right and not Christian right to do that, because you're stealing. Literally you're stealing, because you know your price, you know what you expected to get from that product. So if you're overpricing it, then you're stealing, and your heart will really tell you tell you the truth. As much as you can fool the other person, the world, but your heart as a Christian, mutima nama, will tell you that what you're doing is not right. So that's one thing I learned, and for me to not be tempted to do that, I put out my prices. So when I post a product, I put out the prices down below. So even if I try to, if I have some financial troubles and I want to bring up the prices, I know for a fact I had the price out there, and everyone will know the prices without me increasing it for more income or because I see a lot of people want it. So God keeps on teaching you and telling you. The last Sunday we were taught about vigeragezo, things that God testing that God does to see, like how are you growing in Christian life and how are you doing. And one of the tests I had was that, because business is a crazy stuff to do. Like it's not for the weak. You might bring a product thinking it's the best selling for you, but jokes on you, the world is gonna make you crazy. You're gonna see the one that you didn't actually like, that you bought by just testing, that is the one that's being loved the most. And then you're like, I had priced it on a lower price, thinking it doesn't mean anything. And now it means something. Everyone wants that product. Why not bring it up? Because everyone wants it and they're really willing to pay for it. I'm not saying it's wrong to raise your prices because you've seen something has value, but work with the Holy Spirit. Of course. Work with the Holy Spirit. There is sometimes you bring up the prices and your heart tells you that you're doing something wrong. And there is another time God will tell you it's the right time to change your prices. Everything you do, if you put it in God and you do it with the confidence of God's approval, it actually works out. But if you do it on your own trust and believe, that market won't last. You'll bring up the prices and things will change. Let me go on the architectural part of things. So there's a way you get clients that are high profile, and everyone would expect you to bring up the prices. But to me, it's quite ridiculous because the work you're going to do for that person is the same thing you're going to do for the other person. To me, I think it's ethically right to stick to your prices. If the person decides on their own to bring up the prices, then let it be. But let us not exaggerate when us putting prices on things. The inflation is enough for you to put prices very high for someone just because of the profile. It can be the profile, but when maybe the finances are not on the level of the profile. Do the work you're supposed to do it perfectly, give them the prices that you would give to someone else. Then God will bless you with more and more clients from that person. That's what thing I've experienced from it. You give someone a price and they give you another, and at some point, the more you grow, maybe you can decide that you can increase your prices, but don't try to steal from your own business. That's like stealing from your own business, in my opinion. So whatever you do when it's Christ-driven, I agree. But if you do it on your own desires and flesh requirements, then something is not going to work for you at the end.
And I think businessmen can earn money from overpricing a product or from selling many quantities of the product.
Exactly.
So, sometimes when the market becomes big, some people will be pressured to increase the price of the product instead of earning the profit from selling more quantities. But one could still say, when you talk about the ethics, it's one thing. But someone else will say, leave ethics alone. Let's go to what faith does to a business person, a businesswoman or a businessman. Some would be like Christianity has a way of adding an advantage to those who are doing business with the faith as their backup. Others will say it's making a lot of Africans very poor. Lots of Africans are becoming poor because of Christianity and all that. And you seem to kind of balance both your faith and your businesses and other things that you do. I was almost going to say perfectly well, but I should say that because you said you are a perfectionist and with your friends you are perfectionists. So maybe it's not perfect, but you have kind of found a way to balance both, not just on the ethical side, but also in building your mental toughness that is required in business, in building your confidence, as we are saying. So what's the added advantage of having Christian faith for business people?
Confidence. Literally confidence, because when you see things I do and you see the confidence I work with, you'd think I have like high people in, like high there, but I have a high person over there who is Christ, who is there for me. And whenever he tells me go ahead, I know I have like 1,000 soldiers with me. It gives you confidence that you will never get from anything in this world. So whatever you do, when you know that God is with you, you know that even the trials you're gonna get in there are there to teach you and to grow you. So confidence, I would say confidence and boldness to do things that you wouldn't do with your own understanding or things that you think that would work. Because whatever I started and the boldness that everyone presumably says that I have is from faith.
Wow.
From that father that I had, my dad. He had faith in the roof up there. Like he would do crazy things, and I was like, some things I was like, you know what, we're not on the same level, but on my level I was also learning some things of how much a kautoka sinapi of faith can do, can do crazy things. So I was like, let me try it out. Let me try out my dad's faith and see if it works. It started as a trial to see if what he actually says actually works. Yeah, it actually works. It really actually works. The faith that you have in Christ, he can tell that you have faith in him. The moment you open up and show him that you actually believe in what he told you, trust me, he's going to be there. He's going to show you how much he can be faithful. But if you don't let go and give him everything that you do, it's not going to work. The faith that we're talking about here, you're not going to see it. You need to let go first. Give it to Christ. Everything you do, give it to Christ for him to do his amazing work. So the added advantage of being a Christian with faith and doing a business is the confidence and boldness that comes with it. And the confidence to know that things will work out in the end. Without knowing how it's going to work out, but it's going to work out in the end. Yeah.
Wow. So for any businessman who's struggling with confidence, she just gave you some antidote. You got to have faith in Christ. Now, coming to the end of our conversation, Teta.
Yes, please.
Have you now grown up? Do you want to be like her?
No, I think you can. I think you can do the ending, but I mean, we are closing, and thank you so much, Kevin. This was really amazing. I'm gonna learn how to taste and see that the Lord is good. Literally.
You should be starting a law firm now.
I am actually, as we go out,
to consultants, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, consultant.
Kevin, thank you so much. Thank you so much for
well.
coming and for sharing your wisdom, a lot of wisdom that you shared tonight, from all kinds of angles, from social, spiritual, business. That was truly amazing. And we would love to have you more times on this platform.
I'll
maybe
be
covering other topics too.
What would be that?
And I hope people who want to build big, good buildings, please contact her. She's on IG. What do you use on social media?
INNOVARQ. So I think you're gonna put it somewhere
in the comments.
Yeah, in the comments.
Yeah, okay.
But it's give me a minute. So it's 2 underscores INNOVARQ. INNOVARQ, INNOVARQ. So that's my Instagram. So you can even go on my personal Instagram.
I think we should go to your personal Instagram.
Everything is there. Everything is there on my
so your
personal.
Your personal Instagram is
an underscore Musoni_K.
Okay. So if you want to build some great buildings, please contact her. If you want to buy some wigs, you still can reach out to her. If you are planning an event, she's the best person to go to. And if you want to learn so much, you keep watching us. This is Staying the Course. It's empowered by Christ for the Nations Ministries. And today I had co-hosted with Teta. I'm called Vital. See you next Sunday.